In this tutorial, we're going to cover how to do a dismissible banner in bricks with no additional plugins. So in this example here, you can see we've got ourselves a little banner. Boom, goes bye-bye. And when you reload, well, it flashed there. We'll have to take a look at that. But the idea is that the banner should not come back. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to come here into bricks. We've got our basic structure that we're going to set up. You don't have to do it this exact way, but this is how I'm doing it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wrap these in a block. So I got 2 text blocks, and I'm going to wrap these in a div. And then I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to add an icon. Boom. Over here and make this an X and set that to 25. And then we'll come back up here and okay, get everything aligned. This div, I don't want this to be 50%. Okay, so we kind of got what we're looking for there. Set a column gap of 15. And just make sure this is set to 1. Okay, so we'll come over here and read more. And link. Sure. And then for our section, for our banner parent div, so what we're going to do is we're just going to set the background. So F1, and we'll give it a height of 50. Oops. Let's try setting a height, not a width. And then we need to align this to center. Oops. There we go. And you know what? Let's add some spacing too. So okay. So now we've got our basic things set here, our structure. So let's just take a look at it in all its glory. Look at that. Aren't we so impressed? Okay. So the idea is we want to make this whole banner dismissible. And our little X here, this is going to be the thing that triggers it. So we need to add an interaction, first of all. So we're going to come over here. Gonna do this. So on click, we're going to toggle an attribute. The key is going to be class. Value is going to be element hide. And the target is actually going to be our parent selector. So let's come over here and we're going to edit our selector. And we'll just call it Dismissible Banner Content. Save it. Come back over here to our interaction and choose CSS selector. And so when you click on this, this is going to add the element hide class to the parent div. And we can see that in action here. So let's go ahead and open up our inspector. So keep an eye on the inspector down here. So when I click on this, it adds the element hide class there. So far, so good. All right. Now, so we want to hide this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some CSS directly to this div. You could add this to a global style sheet if you wanted to. So I'm just going to type in element hide and opacity. We'll just set that to 0. And I'll be sure to choose a transition. Ease in, out. Okay. So what should happen is this this banner should kind of disappear when we click this. Oh, that does not happen. Why does that not happen? Well, let's figure. I guess it helps if you spell the property correctly. Opacity. No, it's opacity. So we go ahead and do this again. Boom, goes away. It comes back, goes away. We don't really want to bring it back. We just want it to disappear, right? So if I dismiss it and then I reload, it comes back, which we don't want. So we need to be able to set some sort of cookie on this thing, right? So when we click on this, we need to add browser storage. So we need to add another interaction. So also on click, we're going to add storage. And so we have three choices here: local, session, or window. Windows storage is kind of like an older protocol for storing data in the browser. Session storage is a little more modern. And you can store information like a cookie name and value. And it'll stay in the session as long as that browser's open. When a user closes the browser or the window, that data goes away. So the cookie goes away. Local storage, the data will persist, meaning that when you store a cookie via local storage, even if the user closes their browser window or they close the tab, that data will persist and it'll stay in the browser. So if you have any interactions based off of something that you've set in local storage, that interaction will continue to persist. So we're going to choose local storage, and then we're going to type in DGS cookie. You can use whatever name you want. I'm just choosing these arbitrarily. Cookie. Okay. So now what's going to happen is when we save this, right, this should add a cookie. So I'm going to dismiss that. Come over here to application, local storage. We can see my cookie here now, which is great. So I delete it. This cookie doesn't really do anything at this point, but when I click it, you can see it gets added. So what we need to do next is we need to add another interaction, and we need to do it to our parent div, the one that we're targeting, so dismissible banner. So we're going to add an interaction. So on viewport, so when this enters viewport, we're going to set an action to, let's see. I think we're going to just hide the element, target itself. The critical part is now we need to add a condition. So we're going to choose local storage, and we're going to enter DGS cookie. And we're going to add cookie. I don't know why I keep doing that sound effect there. But essentially what we're doing is when this div enters the viewport, we're going to hide it. We're going to target itself. And this is only going to happen. This is only going to run if there is a cookie with DGS cookie as the name and the value cookie. So the idea is if this cookie exists, this will now be hidden. So if I reload this page, it should not come back. And it's gone, right? So if I delete this, boom, it'll come back. Delete, refresh, it should not be back. It does come back for that brief bit though, and I haven't quite figured out how to get rid of that. But anyway, this is how you do it. So if you have any questions, please let me know.